You are watching SHOUTcraft, high-definition esports broadcasting for Starcraft 2. Please welcome tonight's commentators, the Emperor and TotalBiscuit.
Alright, JTProg has arrived.
Fantastic. Welcome to our wildcard player today, part of the SHOUTcraft roster, and he wasn't scheduled to play tonight, but hey, he's going to get a chance nonetheless, and hopefully we'll have some entertainment from him. He has now been brought in to the single elimination tourney.
Millions are watching, don't be nervous.
Absolutely. Whiplash and JTProg, please leave your stream right now, and Whiplash has announced to me that he will be playing Protoss this evening. So we're going to have a TVP.
Last couple of weeks we had quite a heavy Zerg load. Now we haven't had one. Actually, I was looking at it. Other than Zerum action in that 2-on-2, I don't think we have a single Zerg player tonight.
We've got Reno as well. There's going to be 2 Zerg at our 2v2 main event this evening, but otherwise it is mostly Terran v Protoss.
We ready, boys?
I certainly hope so.
So we get the okay from them, we're ready to go. Both players are ready. I'm ready. TB, are you ready?
Let's make it happen.
May God help us all. Here we go.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Desert Oasis. It's the kind of place that you want to bring your family and your grandma for a week's vacation. We're bringing JTProg with his Terran army versus the Protoss forces of Whiplash. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is far from family friendly.
Actually, I plan on going to the desert action for my honeymoon coming up in June. Going to Las Vegas as it happens.
The question is, will you be playing Terran, Zerg, or Protoss?
Whichever's cheaper. Zerg. All right, in the bottom of the map, actually, let me hook myself into your camera here.
My delicious camera.
There we go. In the upper top of the match, we got, in red, we have JTProg playing Terran. In the bottom of the map here on Desert Oasis. In the orange trunks, of course, we have his opponent, Whiplash. I like it when they're easy names to pronounce.
It's always good, isn't it? Instead of JT Zygo 532X.
In which case, I just call him John, and that's it.
Indeed. I must apologize to JT Zygo 532X, incidentally. No slander was intended.
Folks, if you are missing Jimmy on IRC, I cannot get to it at the moment.
Indeed. We are
in-game.
So wait
between
we are
matches, and I will... Yes, there's a game going on.
If you hadn't already noticed.
Oh. I'm assuming we're still broadcasting. There's an issue, of course.
I certainly hope so.
Right now, it looks like they're putting their respective buildings out near their ramps. The Desert Oasis is actually kind of like a pinwheel, actually, in its design. Now, you notice that through the center of the map, you have 3 these sentry buildings. What you do is you put one of your guys next to it, and it'll reveal everything, because there's a fog of war, obviously, in StarCraft, much like most RTSs. But you put a unit next to one of those white boxes on your minimap there, at the bottom left-hand corner, and it'll reveal a circle, basically a giant sphere, of everything around you.
Early probe harassment there on the SCV. It's annoying as hell. Yeah, but it works. He's actually about to take him down, but second SCV. Oh, we've got it going on right here. This is
the tag team match.
Oh, yes.
Handicap match. Get a chair.
Absolutely heavy micro from the SCV and the probe, which will prevail. Now he's decided to take it back to mining. Yeah, good stuff. So there's the scout, ladies and gents, and he's going after him. He is not letting him go.
Pay less attention to the probe and more attention to what you're doing. That's really what he... Okay, apparently now looks like he's going to return the favor. Prog going down and harassing Whiplash's base. Gateway now up for Whiplash. Second pylon going up.
Indeed, JTProg drawing a pretty picture with his waypoints there. Very impressive.
Cybernex core. So we'll see some early stalkers and sentries, I imagine.
Indeed. And we've got the early Marines going up there, obviously, from JTProg.
What else are they going to make, Amp?
Oh, he's taken him out, finally. And vengeance comes swiftly and brutally. He's got to get away. Or is he? No,
nope,
there he goes. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a worker for a worker.
Orbital Command Center now up.
Wow,
and
early factory coming in here, plus a mule to support on the economy. That is interesting. Are we going to see a Hellion harass?
Well, he's going to have to. I mean, he's only got 1 barracks. He doesn't have a reactor or a tech lab. So it would appear that he's... okay, there's a robotics factory now going up in Whiplash's base. Both these players making a run for Tier 2. We're not going to see a whole lot of Tier 1 combat.
Indeed. We could use some yakety sacks with the chase going on here. I love that. Look at the number of waypoints. That's absolutely fantastic. JTProg really toying with his opponent right now. Nothing really militarily coming on thus far from the Protoss player, and I would be worried about that factory.
It's just a factory, TV. Calm down.
That's one factory's already going starport.
Second one going up.
This is going to be intriguing. We're not looking like a standard M&M this time around.
Not at all.
No.
I'm actually, in my mind, I'm trying to think out, if I was in his place, what would I do? I mean, obviously, Hellions would be the way to go. Robotic Factory going, so I imagine we're going to see Immortals. That's probably my guess as opposed to the Colossus. Now, he's building himself a Observer at the moment. But you know what? I'm a big fan of the Banshees, and we haven't seen a great deal of those. Maybe a Banshee run in there, cloak, hit the base, and take off.
It really does, especially against early Protoss. If he's not getting those Stalkers out and he doesn't have the photon cannons, neither of which he has right now, early Banshees would do the trick.
One bunker now, almost completely full. That starbase is actually floating. Okay, now they're going to switch. The factory's going to drop down. The reactor is going to pop on.
It's got to be.
Banshees.
You see that the Banshee is a tactical strike aircraft. It is great for doing damage to things on the ground.
I'm just waiting now to see what he's going to build, if anything.
There you go. Oh, a Raven. Okay. This is going to get interesting.
For a first unit, that's
it's
a little
gutsy.
different.
I'll give him that.
But you know what? I like different.
Oh,
sometimes the same old, it gets really boring. I know those are the tried and true strategies that win a game, but sometimes it's kind of nice to see something a little different. Of course, Whiplash probably isn't going to last that long with his Observer there, considering the Raven has the ability to see things that are cloaked.
Indeed. He's about to find that out sooner rather than later.
Second starport now. Let's take a look and see what our opponent, our friend down here in the south has. Let's see what Whiplash has going on.
Seems to be hanging around, not really doing all that much right now. There's the third gateway going up. Question is, what are we going to see from it?
Robotics Factory so far laying dormant, nothing being purchased. I'm a little surprised.
Stargate going up right there is going to counter the air with, well, more air.
Oh, man, I feel bad if he uses the Phoenix. That thing's such a garbage piece.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'd like to see him actually beef up is the anti-air the Protoss have is relatively weak. Now, I know most of their anti-air is ground-based, but there's no reason why they can't have a superiority fighter of their own.
Indeed.
I miss the Scout.
JTProg using the Raven there as a patrol vehicle in order to find and, in fact, kill the Observer. Did so in relatively short order.
And never underestimate the turrets they can throw down.
Yep.
There goes the second command base. They're going to pop that up and float it.
You see it right there. There's the Banshee. So, Banshees with Raven support.
Yep.
It's a good combo.
Hot damn.
Okay, this is going to get interesting. We've got JTProg taking his factory into the air and over towards the Protoss base. I gotta wonder what he's planning.
Both are running pretty lean as far as resources on hand. Is he going to land that in his base?
It's possible. I'm locking the view right here to JTProg, and you can see... It's not going to manage it.
Guts.
No, he's not pulling that off at all. No, no, no.
Well, I suppose if he wanted to keep his opponent busy and keep his attention on that, there's the Immortal I figured he was going to make.
Indeed.
There's the Warp Gates to bring in. Now, I don't think we will explain the Warp Gates. For those who are not familiar, what the Warp Gates do is they allow you to beam in your forces made from a gateway anywhere where you have a building. Or if you happen to have the transport, you can actually force that into a warp prism. And you can bring those in anywhere on the map that you have a building. And there goes one Banshee. So he's not going to send these. I would send these in actually together as a force instead of piecemeal.
Early harassment. He knows his opponent only has 3 Stalkers to his name. At the end of the day, a Protoss Micro Banshee could get out of the way of those before they're able to destroy it.
I would hesitate to do that for the simple fact that you're tipping your hand. Now your opponent knows exactly what you're doing. If you have 4 or 5 Banshees, sending cloak, you can do some serious damage.
He's actually
Screw
split
the
them
Stalkers,
up
hit
right
the base.
There. You see, there's the third one right there, and he's gone in with that, a little shot on the pylon, and then run. Little harassment. And then he's gone in from another angle. He's attacking from multiple angles to confuse his opponent. Driving in there, I think he's going to lose his Banshee, unfortunately, but he was able to take out the shield of the Immortal, which is the real strength of that unit. Those back and forth harassments with the Banshees there really going to keep the Protoss player on his toes.
I'm just... and I don't want to question necessarily his sanity, but I question his strategy.
It's a delaying tactic. Look, you've got 2...
It could be, I suppose.
You've got your 2 starports there, building 2 more Banshees. He is going to come out in force, but not yet. He wants to keep his opponent on his toes.
And now here's something, TB, that we have not seen so far in our cast. A High Templar has been produced now for Whiplash.
Indeed.
I am not a fan of the High Templar in this game. Their AoE is very small in effect and has a very short range. The Archons, to me, are basically useless. Here comes a Marine now assaulting the expansion in the bottom left-hand corner.
Got to run straight into that. It's unfortunate, actually, because there's the scout. He now knows what he's got. But then again, he did hold his Immortal back, so it is possible that the Immortal was out of line of sight there. And he may have also not seen the High Templar. You're talking about force right here. You asked them to go in force, and that's exactly what's happening. Backed up by the Raven as a detector. He has not researched the Seeker missile, so I imagine he's going to be using auto turrets. He's coming over the right-hand side there. There's no defense. Potential heavy damage coming in right now. One Stalker available.
Hit the base. Now that's what they're doing. They're focused right on the Nexus, taking that down very quickly.
Point defense drone shooting down those projectiles. Perfect. It's going down right now. The Stalker's not able to do anything. Those projectiles count as missiles. This
hit
point
the
defense
probes.
drone.
Get the probes. Ignore everything else. Hit the probes. No, he's going to go after the pylons. He's going to try and cripple all of his base, all of his buildings.
He's gutting
try and
the
cripple
base.
his ability to make anything.
I'm sorry, but he's got nothing. A base racing right now. We see a force moving rapidly up the right-hand side, moving in on the force. It's not going to happen. He's already
not
getting
against
battered.
2 bunkers. Now they're going to go ahead and they're going to. There they go. They're going to charge right in against the enemy base up here at the upper right corner of the
Planetary
expansion.
Fortress. It'll gut them.
And that's exactly what it is. It's that giant turret we talked about earlier in the evening. And it looks like a couple Stalkers are out now, and the point defense has been taking very quick care of them. Stalkers having no effect right now. The Banshees, now they have the cloak ability. There they go. They're now invisible. They're focusing onto the High Templar, making it. Sorry, he turned himself into an Archon.
Yep, Archon going after the air units there, and unfortunately being wiped out.
It accomplished nothing. Now that expansion in the upper bottom left-hand corner is running. So Whiplash isn't dead, but things are not looking good for him. Now he's got forces spread out he's not even paying attention to. He's got an Immortal at the very top of the map, right outside his Prog's expansion, doing nothing. Just kind of sitting there.
GG, he's given up. Those Banshees able to absolutely gut the Protoss base, so congratulations there to our Terran player. Very well played.
I'll say this, it was anything but orthodox on that one. That was kind of fun. It was different. And I question why he was setting up those Banshees separately, but they really are a hammer. You put enough of them together and you hit one base at one time, you can take it out very quickly. With no counter battery fire, no defenses on the part of the Protoss. That and the fact that none of his forces were home when that hit took place, it was pretty much a done deal at that point.